Kwabena was a simple man from Mpobi, a small village in Ghana. Though life had not blessed him with riches, his heart was filled with kindness and love. He worked tirelessly as a farmer, tilling the land from sunrise to sunset to make ends meet. For him, hard work was not just a way of life, but also a means to provide for those he cared about, especially his girlfriend, Ama. Ama was a bright young woman with dreams as vast as the ocean. She was born into a struggling family that could barely afford 3 meals a day, let alone higher education. Despite their hardships, Ama's dream of becoming a university graduate never dimmed. She often shared her aspirations with Kwabena, who listened intently, his heart aching to see her achieve the life she longed for. Kwabena loved Ama deeply and decided to do everything in his power to support her dreams. After months of saving and sacrificing, he managed to raise enough money to enroll Ama in a prestigious university in Accra. "I believe in you," Kwabena said, holding Ama's hands tightly on the day she left for school. "Don't forget where you come from, and always remember that I'll be here for you," no matter what. Ama's eyes filled with tears, but they were tears of excitement and relief. She promised Kwabena she would never forget his sacrifices. Kwabena's life changed dramatically after Ama left for university. Supporting her education was expensive, and he had to sell a portion of his farmland and even take up odd jobs in the city to cover her tuition fees and other expenses. While Ama was studying, Kwabena lived a frugal life. He ate 1 meal a day, wore tattered clothes, and slept on a thin mat in his small, leaking hut. But none of it mattered to him. Every CD he earned was sent to Ama, along with encouraging messages to remind her that she was loved and supported. Ama thrived at university. She was popular, confident, and admired by many. Her social circle grew, and she began to experience a lifestyle far removed from the humble life she shared with Kwabena. Over time, Kwabena noticed Ama's responses to his messages became shorter and less frequent. Initially, he thought she was simply busy with schoolwork, but deep down, he felt a shift in their relationship. During holidays, Ama rarely returned home. She claimed she had internships and projects to work on. When she did visit, she seemed distant, avoiding meaningful conversations and spending more time on her phone. Kwabena brushed off his doubts, telling himself that Ama was just focused on building a better future for them. Ama's graduation 4 years later, Ama graduated with honors. Kwabena was overjoyed and traveled to Accra with a small gift, a handmade kente cloth he had saved for years to celebrate her success. As Ama stood on stage, receiving her degree, Kwabena's chest swelled with pride. He whispered to himself, "We did it," but that moment of pride was short-lived. When Kwabena approached Ama after the ceremony, she introduced him to her friends. As a family friend, Kwabena's heart sank, but he kept a brave face, convincing himself it was just a misunderstanding. Days after the graduation ceremony, Ama invited Kwabena to meet her at a cafe. He arrived early, eager to discuss their future and plans for marriage, as they had often dreamed about. Ama, however, had a different agenda. She sat across from Kwabena, her expression cold and detached. "Kwabena," she began, avoiding his gaze, "I appreciate everything you've done for me, but I think it's time we go our separate ways." Kwabena froze, his mind struggling to process her words. "Separate ways? What do you mean, Ama? I thought we were building a life together." Ama sighed, her tone dismissive. "Kwabena, we come from different worlds now. I've grown, and I need someone who matches my ambitions and lifestyle. I can't stay tied to my past." Kwabena felt as though the ground beneath him had crumbled. "Your past," he said, his voice breaking. "Ama, I sacrificed everything for you. I sold my land, my dreams, everything to see you succeed. I didn't ask you to." Ama replied coldly, standing up to leave. "Take care of yourself, Kwabena." Kwabena sat in silence, tears streaming down his face. The woman he had loved, supported, and sacrificed everything for had abandoned him without a second thought. He returned to Mpobi, broken and disillusioned. Ama, on the other hand, flourished in her new life. She secured a high-paying job in the city, mingled with influential people, and eventually married a wealthy businessman. Kwabena, though heartbroken, found solace in his faith and community. Over time, he rebuilt his life, reclaiming his farmland and starting a small agribusiness. He vowed never to let his kindness be taken for granted again. Years later, Ama visited Mpobi for a family event. She saw Kwabena from a distance, working in his now thriving farm. He looked content, surrounded by workers and the fruits of his labor. She felt a pang of regret, but knew she could never undo the choices she had made. Kwabena, however, had moved on. He had learned a valuable lesson: love should be mutual and sacrifices should be appreciated. Though he still bore the scars of betrayal, he found strength in knowing that he had loved selflessly and given his best. The story of Kwabena and Ama became a cautionary tale in the village, a reminder that true love requires not just sacrifices, but also loyalty and gratitude.